The fence on this side of my home, the replacement vinyl fence, is almost done. Due to the fact that I had to use existing posts that were already in concrete, I had to work around the panels. The posts are 4 inches apart farther than they should be, so I had to do a little massaging. I put hurricane clips on the bottom, which I will paint white when it gets better. And I'm impressed with the fence. What this says is that this fence right here, and I did all the work myself, is that they last about 30 years. So that's good. Now, one more thing about these fences is that I believe, and I got it from Home Depot, they send it to your house on a truck, but you need 2 or 3 people to unload it. Okay, they don't. If you got grandma there to unload it, it ain't gonna happen. So what you do is you buy the fence panel, which is, let's see if I can. It's a 6x8 fence panel. Okay, it comes with a bottom rail, a top rail, 8 wall pieces, and 2 of these inserts that you screw into the fence to hold this. And after you buy it, you'll need to buy the fence posts, and they're about, I don't know, 9 feet long, because they're supposed to be buried in concrete, but I've already got the concrete. You can buy them with 2 adjoining slat holes up here, on this side and this side, for a continuous fence. Then when you get to the end of the fence, you buy the end pieces, the end posts, I will say, that are flat on this side. So for every fence you put in, you'll need 2 of those. After you buy that, and they're I don't know, 65, 70 bucks. Then you buy the caps, and you can buy a couple of different kind of caps, I think. I just bought the conservative ones. And the fence, the one thing I really like about this fence is my neighbor has a dog, which is no problem, but you know dogs like to jump on fences. And which is fine. So I wanted to find out what I could do. This is a bottom fence piece right here. This first one. It comes every fence panel that you buy, one 6x8 panel, comes with an aluminum I-beam right here. It slides into the bottom of your bottom railing. Now the only thing that I'm wondering about is that I would have liked it if the company would have given me an option to buy the railings, the aluminum railings, so I could put them in the top too. So that the advantage of the aluminum rails in the bottom here is they're supposed to withstand wind up to 110 miles an hour. To give you an idea, and I don't live in a windy place, to give you an idea how strong wind is, a lot of you people will not know this, but does anyone know what kind of wind speed it takes to knock a man off his feet when you're just walking around like this and the wind comes up and blows at you? I believe it's 82 miles an hour. So 110 mile an hour wind variance like that is really helpful. Now on the other side here, I have 7 panels. All of these have the aluminum in the bottom. And I can see why they're in the bottom, because most of your most of your pressures will be put on the first 3 or 4 feet, not the top. But your fence is only as weak as your weakest part. So I put this in, and I have one fence post that when I put these pressure treated lumber in 15 years ago, we're not supposed to warp or bend or bend like this one did, which it's all right, but it's still, they didn't take enough moisture out of the 4x4. They didn't cure it right. So after you put in your posts, like on these end posts, what you're supposed to do is dig your hole, put your concrete in it, and these have an extra, well, you can see it over here. They have an extra 1.5 or 2 feet of post that goes in the ground. And you're supposed to set them exactly at 8 feet or 92 inches, I believe. So that this bottom railing right here and the top will slide right into the top and the bottom. Then what you do is you get the side pieces and you put in 1, tap it in, 2, 3. Oh, first of all, I've got to put in the edge guide right here, which I showed you. 3/4 screws, you just put it in. Works great. Then you put in the panels, all 8 of them, and they're exactly at 96 inches. So that's all they're going to give you. If you need, if your fence posts are farther apart like mine are, you're going to need to take a new good fence panel like here, and right here, this is a part of the fence panel that's cut about 4 inches right here for the end, which worked out okay. The only problem that I had with cutting the extra panels, and they're real easy to cut, you get a vinyl saw and on your D-wall it works fine, but I had to spend 165 bucks on another panel just so I could get at these 8 side panels for extras that I need to cut. Then I went down to Home Depot, and first I tried to cut these panels with a D-wall 2x4 ripping wood saw. Don't do it, okay? It'll crack these. You can cut the fence posts with a ripping saw. That's not a problem. But when you try it on these thin panels, what it does is it chips out either left or right. Okay, so I went down to Home Depot because I'm not a fence expert. I'm just trying to get this thing in before it gets hot. I went down to Home Depot, I took my 20-year-old D-wall, and I bought a Diablo Ultra Finish blade with 60 teeth on it. You can see the teeth for fine finish, and it's used for it's not really used for plastic. It says it's used for linoleum. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I switched the blade out from the wood blade. I put this on, and I've been cutting away. This was a good panel right here, and I just cut one side and I cut the other side, and it's all worked. I'm gonna have a few extra panels left, maybe 2 left, but I imagine that the fence will work pretty good. As I understand on the fence, and this is kind of an odd build, so that's why I'm going to put it on YouTube and show what I did, because it's an unorthodox way of doing it. Instead of ripping out all the old posts, putting in new concrete, doing it all over again, I decided maybe I could cheat my way through with the posts that are already there and then adapt the panels to them, which seem to have worked, which is great. The fence, as I understand, is supposed to last 30 years with minimum maintenance. That's what you want. You want something like that. All you have to do is wipe it off with water, clean it. It looks smart. It looks professional. It adds beauty, and it makes your house worth more money than a rotted old fence like I had. And the old fence I had, I got from Home Depot too, and I didn't really understand that they only last 10 or 12 years no matter what you do on these old wooden ones in where I live. So this is going to last the next 30 years. It'll probably outlast me. I'm real happy with it. I'm real happy with Home Depot and their delivery right outside my house. And I think it's going to be, my neighbors are real happy. It looks good on both sides. And I'm going to get this done before it starts to get hot where I live in my state. And I bet you even the rock star that owns this mansion over here, this is just one of his houses as I understand. I've been here 15 years and I've never seen him. But I have heard his music. He's a very, very good guitarist, famous guy. All right, the Home Depot vinyl fence saga continues.